I'm the unsilent majority, big mouth.
Joining us as she does on a Thursday is New South Wales Liberal Senator Concetta Fierravanti-Wells. Connie, I can't remember a time in Australia where we've been so poorly governed.
Well, Stephen, you make some very, very valid points, and I think that two things really, if I can put them into context. One is that, as Minister Hunt correctly said yesterday, the medical advice hasn't changed. The medical advice from the Australian Technical Advisory Group on Immunisation is that AstraZeneca is preferred for the over 60s and that Pfizer is preferred for the under 60s. But however, what's happened is that AstraZeneca can be used in adults aged under 60 for whom Pfizer is not available. And of course it's important, as you said in your opener, that you do consult with your doctor and discuss the benefits that are likely to outweigh the risks for you, and so that you do make an informed decision based on those on an understanding of those risks and benefits. So it's always been the case that somebody under the age of 60 could get the AstraZeneca with informed consent. Now, the only thing that happened at National Cabinet the other evening is that there's been a provision now for the consultation items and indemnity of the medical profession, which is something that they have sought and which the government has been working with them to achieve. And so that it now means that you can go to your doctor and you can get the AstraZeneca if you're under 60, and just like you can when you're over 60. So that's really what's happened here. So that's on the medical front. And
that's exactly right. I mean, yeah, the indemnity is an issue some people might say, well, hang on a second, why are you indemnifying doctors if this thing is safe? But for a bunch of state and territory leaders to come out and say that the Prime Minister's being irresponsible by saying, go and talk to your doctor, it's just simply extraordinary.
But I mean, you just have to look after each National Cabinet. There's a statement that's put out, and it's very clearly stated in that document that was a feature of the National Cabinet. Now, I'm not privy to what happens at National Cabinet, but there it is in the statement. It's pretty clear. So any assertion that there's been any surprise element here is totally untrue. And also, Stephen, if I may, I think Home Affairs Minister Karen Andrews put it into context yesterday that this is very much, she really slam-dunked Premier Palazzouk and her Deputy Stephen Miles to basically what they're trying to do is create, I think, a distraction from their own quarantine failures. I mean, first they had the mine worker that was put, a low-risk person put in with high-risk international travellers. And then, of course, you had the Queensland Health Administration worker who was working in a high-risk area and wasn't properly vaccinated. So you've got these inconsistencies by the Queensland government. Of course, they were all happy to take, as Minister Andrews said, happy to take the film and television people, but when it comes to their own failures, they're quick to jump down the throats of the Commonwealth government.
One thing that the Prime Minister does have to take criticism for here, and I've said since the very beginning of this that National Cabinet was a missed opportunity, but I've always been of the opinion that at a state level, state and territory level, is where the B-grade politicians go. At the moment, we've got Z-graders, yet the Prime Minister thought it was a good idea to abrogate federal responsibility to a room full of B-graders. I mean, he's got to take some of the flack for that, because what did he expect was going to happen when he put a bunch of clowns in charge?
Well, National Cabinet was supposed to deal with these issues, but in the end, Stephen, the Australian public is growing more angry. At the beginning, there was an understanding of the necessity of close working relationships. However, now I think that we are starting to see the cracks in relation to National Cabinet. And let's face it, the Australian public does not want to see spats between the Commonwealth and the states. What they want to do is they want to desperately get on with their lives. They want to get vaccinated, and so that there is a way out of this. And I think that's really what's important what is the way out of this, and how are we going to learn to live with the virus, because we have to learn to live with the virus. We know that the virus will continue to mutate. We've seen how viruses, particularly the flu virus, mutates every year, and therefore by more people being vaccinated, we mitigate the risks, but we've also got to have the roadmap out of this, Stephen.
Absolutely. Connie, well said. We'll catch up again next week.
Thanks very much.
All the best. Senator Concetta Fierravanti-Wells. It is 18 minutes past